don't know what else to do. I don't really think this is the best game to play at this time, but like, what else am I gonna do, right? 'Cause I believe this is good till tomorrow, and then I gotta, you know. So let me see here. Is it good till tomorrow? Tomorrow's 17th. Yes, so I gotta do this. So, we'll just do like a little bit of this game, and then maybe like a run or two of what's it called? Curse of the Dead Gods. So, also it was very loud. Right, I thought we were done with I thought we were done with the Vinky. The investigation. Are we not? Go back to Tribulations. Okay. Let's open up my stream here. Hey, bonjour, I've been waiting for you to return. Mr. Armstrong. Oh, good timing. Good timing. I was hoping to find you here. I'd like to ask you a few questions. Well, he hasn't got anything to say to you, fellas. Well, he hasn't got anything to say to you, fellas. Ah, it's in Yop. Who you calling Zin Opie? Ah, she's dead, man. He just banished her to the Shadow Realm. Come under the table already, Maya. Alright, hand it over. What? You just want to play games with me? I don't recommend that. The medical papers now. Uh oh, I think that he wants Viola Cadaverini's papers back. You mean this? The $1 million medical paper? Cadaverini trusted you? That's why she said that she helped you. Forget about it. That girl is dumber than an eggplant. You just want to know about what's sad? I'll tell you what's sad. I named only her face. She thinks she got power because she's Bruto's little girl. Now that's sad. I can't let you have these papers. Tomorrow in court, I'm going to expose what you did to get that $1 million you used to pay off his debt. Pay this off. You crazy or something? I don't care if you want to give it to me or not. There's two of us here. You got that too. Or we, Mr. Armstrong. Forgive me. Désolé, I cannot argue with him. Oh my god, dude. He just died. Erg. That really hurt. That all you just got? I'll be taking those papers now. Armstrong, get that lighter. Wait. Don't take it too hard. Phoenix Wright. That was so stupid, I shouldn't have let my guard down. Those medical papers were vital. Evidence. Should we go under the game? Hold it, pal. Oh, we got backup, man. It's a gumshoe. This game's called what? Trials and Tribulations? Not the @ symbol. Is it the end symbol or just Trials and Tribulations? It is the stepping on end, okay. There we go. The gumshoe. Detective? You just think he's gonna stop me, Copper? Beat it? War? Whoa. Come on, gumshoe. Keep it together. You guys get out of here. It's gotta be. Go, pal. Take this. Oh, we got it back, man. If you get hurt, you can look at the poor Maggie, huh? Alright, thanks, gumshoe. He is gumming a shoe. Wait, Nick, don't leave me behind. Thanks for the help there, Maya. I really gave it to him. Did even that guy tomorrow in court. Tenderlander is going down. To be continued. Dunk-a-dung. Steady progress up to now. 2 days later, the Manavadu. Maybe we'll just like wrap up the case. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't know how much. I don't know if there's another day for this, but I kind of doubt it. With all the evidence we have. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what did you think? What do you think is going to happen today, sir? An acquittal. Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true, and we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? I'm absolutely okay. Yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Speaking of that, we'll be doing Undertale after we finish this game. We don't... Why don't I believe you? You really Italian, Maggie? You better get going to the damn defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. Counting on you. Hey, pal. Hey, he's alive. Hey, Tipper Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out, she doesn't need that. How did you get away from those two strong people? I didn't know she was stressed out. I was watching through the doorway. Nice. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Why is it so loud? Game is naturally loud, huh? Oh, and have you taken up, aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Oh, I do. Can't to think of it. That doesn't look like one of those, aromatherapy bottles. Aromatherapy bottles? This is the small bottle that turned up in Tribulations' kitchen a couple days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're, aromatherapy oils. You got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Wait, the abs in here? I don't. He's still disconnected, huh? You know what? That's fine. Who cares? Who cares, man? Alright. What do you know? It doesn't have a label either. And sniff doesn't smell. Finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid now, pal. It's medication. For ears. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, though. Apparently. For ears, you mean? Yep. The medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Victim's ear medicine found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour, they might have gotten something on the prints, but it's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it? As always, today's trial, I'm going to expose that guy for what he has done. Or my name is Phoenix Wright. Donkey, 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 dunk, dunk. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting, as always, Your Honor. Very good, then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard from the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder in the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. According to the old man's testimony, he picked up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Gadot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. The victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions single kids can have, Mr. Honek. No contradictions. They actually happen, aren't they? Huh? Let me enlighten you, Your Honor. The world you see keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Gadot. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You gotta change with the times. It's one of my rules. Are you implying that you resolve the contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seeds in here, he was throwing us off a scent. Today I'll prove it. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. I like to do my French accent again. And you are? Oui, bonjour, everyone. My name is John Armstrong, the owner and the chef of La Tribulations restaurant at Chante. I'm Chuck. Forgive me for asking witness, but are you a woman? Ooh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am the pert and picky gentleman now. On the day of the incident, you were in Tribulations' kitchen. This is ahead of this thing. It was 20 years ago. Isn't that right? Was you monsieur? Everything feels right. Oh, so smooth, man. Huh? I was totally unfazed. Doesn't that anything intimidate that guy? Alright, will all your testimony please, witness? Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribulations. We volunteers. Why is the people so big, man? Why is the people so big? When all happened, there was just 2 customers in my restaurant. Remember, I was experimenting with some new alter decors that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Perhaps that is what the lovable man was looking at. There are a couple of piece in the glasses. Or in the glasses, he would have seen everything in reverse. No? A mirror? Oui, un grande mirror. The most enormous mirror. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. And then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. See no more, fam. Hold it. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Maz, of course, the young man who died. And the other, not so young man. You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume? What about the other man that he says he saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning on disclosing his existence. Hard evidence first before we bring him up, don't we? I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. Remember I was experimenting with some new decor that day? Hold it. You were experimenting with art decor? How come I never heard of that until today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? What I did just a few moments ago. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoction? No, art deco as in style design, Your Honor. Talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Yeah, of course. That deco. I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. Planning the multiple remodeling of that decor. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. How big a mirror are we talking about here? Oof, something wrong. Something about the 4 meters wide and about 2 meters high. Let's see, if 1 meter is about 1 yard, holy glass in a frame that's huge. Intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. A ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. Unless no one decided not to go with it in the end. Should I ask some more? Press harder, man. You really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. Nothing about the mirror, Mr. Kudo and Maggie's bird's testimonies.
Objection!
You didn't ask, Wright. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? The mirror was delivered to Tribulations the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. As it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. Doesn't add up. Even if the mirror was delivered to Tribulations, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Huh. You want to double someone? You want to down someone? Try to look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in the mirror. Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally, how does normality come into this? That's lame try, even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible without it? Where does that leave the pork-you-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trey? Heck, not the hair, not the top knot. The chicken knot is correct. Like a normal formality is no basis for discounting an argument. Beyond logic and which one the day. I want to look at my information. It's been a couple days. Do we not really know where he was? We didn't know him marked. Okay. Well, press. Everything he would have seen everything in reverse. Hey, Nick. We should take a second to think about what CD said in that testimony. How'd they phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you're gonna lock me up if I'm wrong of his left ear, without a doubt. Then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. So everything he's trying to reflect in the mirror, everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right. Clears up the problem of testimony, does it? I mean, he never wears the glasses in the left eye, so... Or on anything other but his left eye. Contradictions in testimony, but that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. Only in the element testimony we gotta dig deeper. How do you press that, man? The profile? Yes, the profile, okay. Coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over to Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong, it was his left ear without a doubt. Summarize. We were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now Mr. Kudo saw that as a reflection in the mirror. It means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement. You see, Monsieur, now that you're looking at that, to think about it, it is not so hard, none. Fortunately, that's where you run into a momentual contradiction with all the facts. Mr. Kudo really did see everything in the mirror. Why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Bunk. Order. Mr. Wright is correct. The witness generally observed the victim reflected in the mirror, and we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been on over his right eye. How bitter. Try you should have a taste of this bitterness. It will calm you down in no time. Talking about your coffee or something completely different. You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume? I broke the vase. Sorry, apology letter. I mean, meticulous sworn testimony. Exactly, the old man has one very grievous habit other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddles his mind makes. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Ellick? It's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Ellick to be made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both in his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. Ha. Well, trite. Irk. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. I really thought he was OCD for a minute there. God is good. Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of the contradiction you found just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. I can explain. Please, if you would look at the plans of the restaurant. Sorry, if I sound like I'm sick, it's like it was very dusty in Wiretown, so it's very congested from dust. I apologize. Although is everything sitting? Everyone sitting comfortably? The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant. The bodies are two abs. There was only one seat from which you can have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat and the table next to the victim. That was where the old man was sitting. After that terrible incident occurred, I moved over Manura, so we're not looking the way. Naturally, I did not touch anything else. I see no problem with that explanation we have just heard. On the table next to the victim, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. With a noted little coquette, I am confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking down the cold sweats over there again. I hate that guy. Said he didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please. The mirror. Hold it. So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? We? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way. Well, who's talking, Trite? Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things. But this is my seat in the courtroom. SBN's charm is that it gives you the impression that you are only a customer. You're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. But like you, Trite? I tell you, monsieur, the mirror was there, in the middle of the restaurant. And where would that be? Ooh la la, look how you all lean towards me. I always attracted the youngster boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know once. I attracted the older ones too, you know. Handsome. Should I tease you too? No? I'm already seeing a very hot someone, or so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. But she has milk, cream skin, and cappuccino perfume. Begin, I will tell you. There was only one seat from which you could have seen. So why can you only see the victim from the rear seat? Monsieur, it is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would have seen everything done. That's what the OCD was sitting at the other day, when the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Which is kinda odd. It's been a couple days, so I don't really remember. There we go, boys. You have to figure out where to press it, though. Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police? Oui. Excellent. I carried it out with the restaurant then. You did a huge mirror like that, all by yourself. What can I say? I know how to pick things up. And some. Haha. You gotta actually laugh at something. Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it's possible. Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong? It looks like it's the obligating type. None? Touch anything else? Are you sure about that? I touched nothing except the mirror. That's your right. There's something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene. Yeah, there is. I know exactly what it is. Suffering from a case of heartburn, right? I have such a thing for that. The oil with the golden mirror. And frankincense. And a few drops into your coffee, and voila, enjoy. Focus, Phoenix. Breathe. I need to ignore those two and just find some evidence. Pretty strange, though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have been made, and neither did old CD. Only logical explanation is that there was no mirror in the church being that day. I know how to prove it. Just gotta find the right line. Your Honor, Mr. Kudo's words yesterday strongly contradict Mr. Armstrong's testimony. This is the letter of apology that was written by Mr. Kudo, is it not? I realize it looks useless, Your Honor, but this is still a testimony. I guess some useless people are only really good at identifying useless things. What relevance does this scrap of paper have in the trial, Mr. Wright? Mr. Kudo's testimony is actually very relevant to the question at hand, Your Honor, because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. Crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? How something you're describing yourself, Trite. What does it mean? We're both colleagues in a sort of formal way. Now and then in the defense would please clarify the statement. Give me the mouse. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Objection. Don't be an idiot, Trey. That's impossible. See, it's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in the recipe in the day. Testimony Mr. Armstrong was an elaborate lie. Oh, he bit his flower off. Don't try to confuse the court, Trey. Obviously, there were witnesses cleaning up the vase while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Goodout, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the court contrary. In his own words, I did not touch anything else except that mirror. Oh, you're downing another cup? What cup is that? Well, witness, what do you have to say to yourself? Sniffle. I was right, there was no mirror in the restaurant today. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in the left ear and an ear in which she couldn't hear? How? You only get one shot at life. There's no turning back. You want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trey? This problem's all yours. How did you explain what the old man saw? I can answer this, and I'll be much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? And at least solve this contradiction? Absolutely. You had to listen to the other guy. He was meeting with somebody. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. All flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason, but nothing in this case is adding up. Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. The man was actually there. So, Mr. Kudo made a mistake. Running through. Somebody else was actually there. Your doctor made a mistake. No. Victim was a phony? What does that even mean? I will save and choose the top one. Really? Mr. Kudo made a mistake. Mr. Trite, you're the one who brought up all these contradictions, and if you're trying to tell us the old man made a mistake, or this case for the guilty verdict. Declare you decline guilty? This you can come up with? Oh, frick, man. What are the contradictions? Yet the only one I don't really know which one to choose because I know what they're leading to. I don't know which one you get to go off though. Simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? It's in the Mr. Kudo witness and it's in the victim experience. Were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenelg at all. He was an imposter who only pretended to be Mr. Ellick. Obviously, unlike the victim, there's nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. So he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. I definitely got it wrong, sorry. Who? Oh, I'm right, okay. Good donkey. Donkey. Order in the court, settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here? What'd you say? Right. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenelg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. all for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. You're real, right? Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing that Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... Servant girl brought him a Javakino, and she put something in it. The servant girl, right there in the defendant's chair, I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but... There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. Chumnagi bird and the act of poisoning the coffee? Are you insinuating that the waitress at the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there was no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... Also true that the chef was there, or the chef was there, you would have noticed what was happening. That's right, well witness, if your restaurant really was a scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Ooh la la. This is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You're under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at church at the end of the day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events of the restaurant that day. Oh, oui. In the restaurant. He's so sad, man. La victime, Monsieur Elig, came into the restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after you. There were no other customers. When he got word that you won the lottery, man, when Elig became very excited. But approximately 5 minutes later, that the poisoning incident occurred. There was no time for phony to do the acting. Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. Jean Vos demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. What you've just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I'll decide how to punish you later. You had an hour, by the way. I'm gonna go push the hour. The perjury charge a bit too well. Guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after the cross-examination. I will say I don't really know how I'll press this. I'll press both lines here, but I want to push the 1 hour on one of these. What were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have time to kill. I am a multi-talented woman, Manja. Sorry, what do you mean? There's the renowned chef, Jean Armstrong, and the tragic poet, Clarice Armstrong. Clarice? I was reading a poem, an angry tale of a chef and often with another debt. Looking for a man who won often with another adultery. It is called a pourquoi. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for like what? Please don't. You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the man to call from the payphone. By your own argument, right? The purpose of the phony victim performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, the opportunity would completely disappear. Seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted. No c'est pas. Absolutely, someone was impersonating Mr. Elvin. I refuse to believe he was oblivious. Was there the whole time after all? But if you're right, you would have really noticed too. She felt unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? I mean, that's when the phony stages act. I'll know for sure once I find a hole in the testimony. Let me just save again. We went to press some more information to get the actual hour or something, but I doubt it. I don't know, we don't have the piece of testimony from the old man saying they took an hour. I don't believe. I may have to press some more, which is fine. Yeah, let me not get ahead of myself. Let me go ahead and press back here. Hold it. Was he almost at the stable? Was he alone in the stable as well? Mazui, slowly moved from the kitchen. The defendant Miss Bird remembers it differently. She's worried that there was another man in the stable. Unfortunately for you, Wright. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirt reminds me of a certain coffee with bittersweet night. The coffee has been drinking. It's not coffee, it's low, bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that makes me seem wise all of a sudden. Remember the old man around by old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? He comes often for my special coffee. Bring your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special. I'll give you that. Worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy. On this joy, you almost woke many times. And it was worth one sip. Three more. Old Mr. Gudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. What time was it? Out of curiosity, what time was it that Mr. Gudo arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, Master. I believe you were told by the witness yesterday. Crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. on the condo of scary old man. Scary old man, sorry. Perhaps the memory witness. The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. Victim must have arrived between 2 and 2:10 is it 2 hours? Thank you for your help in doing my Mary Munjo, you are wonderful. Oh, there we go, we're press. Must should be in. That's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person is good in the mood. You've been humming a song for himself. You freaking pricks. I'm afraid I've finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Koi? What does that mean? Time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That must be the show Mr. Edlick was listening to. I can't see any problem with that testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. Said the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was the time because I just finished serving the lunch menu. Get to the point, right? If you have one. This show was broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30. Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred at 2 p.m. As that show had already finished more than half an hour earlier by that point in time. None. This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from the facts. This victim was an imposter, acting on the poisoning 30 minutes after the murder. Yes, there was 2 Glen Elgs and Tresby in the day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. The phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo with the witness. It really seems that way. I mean, if it wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy? Objection? What a performance chart, you were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lacked a rock-hard foundation of rhythm to that Bulger song. What was this, Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just at 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell it out to the court, however, at the time the real Glen Elg was already dead. It's really the obvious conclusion. Thank you, right? This is exactly how I was hoping you would say it. What? Now I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. That customer was the phony Glen Elg. Then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Nar. Prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. Your theory is to stand up to examination by the court. You must provide us with the proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. A little savvy navy. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? Do I have evidence? But I had him worth a contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed on me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the courts will now hear the defense's theory of an evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed? It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribulations. Interesting, but where could the body have been hidden inside the restaurant? Perhaps you could point to show, I guess the kitchen? Hidden here. Oh, frick, man, I don't have evidence. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? I'm so freaking good at this game, man. No. I've never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, but the highest quality only for me. I'm thirsty. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations. Yeah, quoi? Okay, but I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. This bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? Mr. L visited the otolaryngynecological clinic and was given medication that day. I butchered that word. You can't be serious. The defense is the contents of the bottle analyzed, and now I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that Mr. Elk was given. War. Then Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant and kitchen. After which time, the bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say that you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm about to say. If it was you who hit the victim's body, you did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird, however. You're setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No. Order, this is an extraordinarily development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk? Never. Could not do such an bad thing. No. Mr. Godot? The bitterness? Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. It's one of my rules. You have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear? My H-deficient friend. Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? None. Absolutely none. Let's hear it. You got one shot. Right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As is my gavel. It is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I got a bad feeling about this. Where will begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong? It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to give it along with him because there was a reason why I couldn't refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it, you must believe me. Now I tell the truth. You were forced by who? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Try a different question, then. When Mr. Elg died, was he really the only person at this table? There was. There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing we need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. What is press is net, or we gotta do some other things first. Okay. You have a $500,000 debt, don't you? $500,000? Is that true, Mr. Armstrong? Oui. Je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed the money. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that is why you couldn't refuse anything asked from you by this man. Furio Tigre. $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything. This man told you. Oui, it is as you say. Sir Armstrong. Yeah. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim with the demands that they repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. Carried the body in the instant Maggie out of the dining area. And in his kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I'd seen. I think we can safely say the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tiger. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. This poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defense apron pocket. What you're doing as well? No, I had nothing to do with that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It was despicable. Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tiger as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we'll adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. 30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see you do it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. Hell though. Don't sit back and relax yet, Wright. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. The trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tiger is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. I will be back in just a moment. So, pardon me.